pendulum swings, and destiny weaves a pattern. This is the story of people who tried to change that pattern, but found they could not stop the pendulum.
Great party, Tom. Nice of you to ask me. I've enjoyed it very much.
I'm glad.
Will you say good night to Claire for me?
Oh, but I'm sure she'd like to see you before you go. I'll get her.
Oh, no, don't bother. I'll call in at your office tomorrow. We'll have lunch together if you're not too busy.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Have you known Barney Todd long?
No, I met him for the first time tonight. He came with the Grahams. Do you know him?
Well, I know he's very popular with women. Too popular.
Claire's quite able to take care of herself.
Yes, of course.
Good night.
Lovely party.
Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, for a fascinating time.
Good night.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
I hope so.
Well, until tomorrow, and thanks again for the party. Good night, Claire.
Good night.
Good night, Tom.
Night, George.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for loving us. Good night, Tom.
Good night, Mac. The least you could have done was to be polite to Merrick. You hardly spoke to him all evening.
Didn't I? I thought you were polite enough for both of us. I'm very tired now.
Don't try and change the subject. You didn't look tired when you were talking to that young man. He didn't seem to bore you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Can't I talk to a man? At least he's amusing.
Not if it means you're neglecting my friends.
Is it strange that I like to talk to someone my own age?
That's no excuse for being rude to Merrick.
Oh, he's so dull.
Well, his orders aren't dull. I want to keep him in a good mood. I expect to land another contract tomorrow.
Business, business. Can't you ever think of anything else?
Well, pays for all this, and don't you forget it.
I'm not likely to forget it with you around to remind me.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know why I married you in the first place.
If I remember, I found it difficult to keep out of your clutches.
You certainly know how to spoil an evening. I was having such fun. You and your old. Can I help it if I'm young?
You're not as young as you used to be, so don't count on that.
Look at me now. I'm tired. And you pick on this moment to start your stupid bickering. Why do you always have to start an argument at night?
It's morning.
Don't be too clever.
I'll take care of it. I hope everything turns out all right.
I tell you what, if I land this contract, let's have lunch tomorrow to celebrate,
Well, not tomorrow. I'm afraid I can't.
Why not? Another date?
Oh, just a boy I know. He's not often in town.
Oh, the day after then, all right?
If you'd like to.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Barney. All right, I can make 5 minutes for a drink. Say 5:30? What's that? Oh, you don't have to go through the lobby. I know. All your old friends. Well, look, come through the side entrance. Oh, don't be absurd, Barney. All right, 5:30 then. Bye.
I needed that after all that talking. Attractive secretary you have.
No, don't get any ideas. Well, thanks again for the lunch and everything else. You won't regret it.
Thank you.
You rang?
Yes, Sally. Mr. Merrick would like you to call his office and say he's on the way. And he congratulates me
Oh?
on having such an efficient secretary.
Shall I ask the boy to get you a taxi, Mr. Merrick?
Thank you, Sally. And remember, if ever he mistreats you here, you come and ask me for a job.
Thank you, I will. I'm not quite sure how soon, though.
Bye-bye, Tom.
You sure you weren't?
Not now. Come and talk some more.
Talk. first installment.
Not bad for an old hand.
Seriously, we're going to see a lot of each other from now on, aren't we?
Who said so?
Well, we both did, don't you remember? Only I said it out loud.
Sure of yourself, aren't you?
Seriously, when I saw you last night, you were bored stiff. Now, don't deny it.
I won't. Only you don't know how much.
Oh, Joe, I've forgotten my key. Let me in like a good fellow, will you?
Sure, Mr. Walker. Thought for a moment it might be the boss.
Having a quiet smoke?
Yes, I'm nearly dead. Typical character down the hall, sir. Never takes his finger off the bell. There you are, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Joe.
Tom, is that you? Why, you're early. Anything wrong?
Why, Todd, so soon? This is a surprise.
Well, I happened to be in the building, so I dropped in.
Well, drop in any time you like. Claire has quite a lot of time on her hands. A busy man like myself can't help keeping her alone quite a bit.
Well, well. What's got into you, darling?
I was only thinking of what you said last night, that's all. I thought that Todd might spare a few hours now and then to keep you amused.
Well, thanks for the invitation, Tom. If I may call you Tom. And thank you, Claire, for the drink. Well, if that's the time, I'd better hurry.
We'll be seeing you, hmm?
Oh, definitely. Good night, Claire. Good night, Tom.
You didn't lose much time.
That's right. So you're changing your tune. That's just like you. I thought I wasn't to smile at a man unless he was profitable to you.
If you don't know what's profitable to you, that's your loss.
I don't need you to teach me.
No,
No. Do you take me for a fool?
you've done pretty well for yourself so far. By the way, the Marek deal's gone through. Thanks for asking.
You always do get what you want. That's what's so dull about you.
Just a minute, Claire. We'll have to take Marek and his wife out one night. So bear that in mind when making dates. I'll telephone you from the office when I've fixed it with him.
That's all I have to do. Sit around here and wait until you choose to call me. And I'm supposed to drop anything else, no matter what, dress up, and be ready to amuse a bunch of old fogies. I had more fun when I worked in the store.
More clothes and money too, I suppose, huh?
All power corrupts, sooner or later. And an idea grew in Tom Walker's mind. An idea that made the future look brighter. So he encouraged Barney Todd and Claire, his wife, to go about together in public, while he himself kept to very secluded places.
Sally, how long do you intend staying in this job?
It depends, Mr. Walker.
Oh, come on. Come off it. We're not in the office now. Be human.
Well, shall I say as long as the job is interesting and well paid? Why do you ask?
Well, I've noticed that Marek is not the only man who looks as though he'd like to offer you another job.
I suppose a girl should never stay anywhere too long. That is, until she gets married.
You mean the boy that went out with you yesterday? Hmm?
Oh, Pete's an old friend. As a matter of fact, I prefer a man to be more mature.
Do I seem old to you?
You are at what I call the interesting age.
Been a long time since I've seen you awake before I leave for the office. What's up?
If you must know, Barney is playing polo down in the country. And I am going to watch him.
Does he often fall off?
Not as often as you would. Why, you couldn't play like he does in a million years.
I have more important things in life to concern myself with.
All I can say is it's about time you concerned yourself with your waistline and took some exercise. You're getting fat and disgusting.
Take that back.
You are. You're old and fat. No one under 40 would look at you anymore.
So that's the way it is. You've shown me often enough lately how you feel about me. Well, I'm through. We're finished.
If it weren't for your money, no one would want you.
Including yourself, naturally. Thank you. You've made up my mind for me. Well, go and watch your little Barney, but you can't have it both ways. And you'll soon find out.
Hello, darling. Thanks, Bill.
Any bruises?
Yes, several. I think we'd better drive straight back. The boys are going to have a stag party here.
Don't catch cold. Wouldn't you like to stay with the team?
Wouldn't have a hangover tomorrow? No thanks. Besides, that kind of thing runs into a lot of cash in the end.
How much money have you got, Barney?
Oh, I haven't the slightest idea.
No, seriously.
No, truthfully. Why, have you got designs on my pocket?
Yes, you can take me out to dinner tonight.
Fine.
Barney,
Hmm?
things are becoming pretty difficult for me with Tom.
Are they? Well, we can't have Tom upsetting our fun, can we, darling?
Barney, would you marry me if Tom gives me a divorce?
Oh, aren't you getting a little bit ahead of yourself? I mean, Tom isn't going to divorce you. Or has he said something to make you think otherwise?
I think he'd like to. And I want to know where we stand.
Well, don't you think we're better off as we are? I mean, if I had half Tom's money, things would be different.
I see.
No, you don't. You're just like every woman. You think a situation never changes. Well, as it is now, I just can't afford a wife, but it doesn't mean to say it's always going to be like that.
But, darling, you mean...
Yes. But just now, we have to go carefully.
I'll be nice to dear Tom because it's not time for divorce yet. Do you know, Barney, I wonder if I could get a large settlement.
Yes, but we just have to go slow. That's my advice. Let's go slow.
But not in everything.
No, maybe not in everything.
Hello? Waiting up?
I had a good day.
Thank you, yes. Kind of you to ask.
About what I said this morning.
Must you remember at night what you say in the morning?
I'm seeing my lawyer tomorrow.
What about?
About the divorce we both wanted. Remember?
Who said anything about me wanting one? You did. Now, just why are you so anxious?
It shouldn't be difficult to arrange.
My dear husband, nothing is going to be easy to arrange. You tell me you want a divorce, just like that. Well, how are you going to get one? There's no reason.
It won't be hard to find proof.
What proof? Just try. I wasn't born yesterday.
All right. You'll get a reasonable offer through my lawyer.
He can go to blazes, and so can you. Tom Walker, get this clear. I stay married to you just as long as I choose to like it that way.
I can withdraw support.
Then I'll sue you for it. I don't know yet who you want to be rid of me for, but I will. And it's going to take a long time and be very expensive. Good night, dear husband.
We'll see.
Here they are, your plane tickets. Do you have to go this evening and on the late flight?
Yes, I have to be up and about in Paris first thing in the morning. You've never been to Paris, have you?
No, not yet.
Don't worry, you will. It's most important when you go there, especially the first time, to go with the right person. Oh, this is no pleasure trip for me.
How long will you be away?
Oh, perhaps one day, maybe more. What would you like me to bring you back?
One real French evening bag, please.
Glad you're so modest. You might have said diamonds. Well, wish me luck.
He'd be home early to come to Lisa Howard's party with us.
Oh, I thought he was more interested in making money than cocktail parties.
Oh, that sounds like him now. So did I. But he's coming to this one.
Hello, Claire, Barney. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to come with you to the party. I have to leave on a rush trip to Paris tonight.
Oh, well, can I get you a drink?
Fine, that'll be splendid.
Oh, why not come? You've time. You can eat on the plane.
No, I've got to pack, and I think I'll eat here.
I say, do you always carry one of those things with you?
Oh, that? Oh, no. This is a perfectly straightforward business trip, but sometimes I have to go to some rather odd places. Have you seen one lately?
No, I can't say I have. I don't like them very much. I say, it's loaded. You better be careful of that safety catch.
Well, if you're not coming, there's no point in waiting. We're going. Take care of yourself.
Oh, now, don't be so anxious about me.
I won't. But don't be away too long. I might get lonely.
I was relying on Barney to take care of that.
Now, don't tempt me too much.
I won't.
Goodbye, then.
Goodbye.
Good night, Tom.
Well, thanks, Joe. I'm leaving for the airport.
Driving yourself, sir?
No, I'm going down to the terminal and taking that bus.
I hope you have a good flight, sir.
I'll be back soon.
Good night, sir.
Oh, Barney, that was fun. Oh, darling.
You really think he has got? There's his briefcase.
Oh, well, of course he's gone. Tom! Tom! Well, there you are. No stupid old man to come and spoil the fun, huh?
Claire, there's something I don't understand. This sudden trip to Paris, it's all too convenient. What's Tom's motive?
Oh, don't be silly. It's just business. It isn't the first time.
Business in the mood he's in? How do you know he hasn't left someone trailing us to get evidence for a divorce? How many people saw us come in through the main lobby together?
Oh, dozens. You're right, darling. I got it. You go away now and make sure you're seen when you go out. I'll give you a key, and you can come back quietly through the side entrance. When it's late, Harry often dozes. Or you can wave the key at him, and he'll think you're staying in the hotel. Only don't show your face.
Well, don't you think we'd better wait?
If you're going to run out on me...
Oh, no, Claire. All right, I'll do as you say. It's a good idea. I'll be back at midnight.
Darling.
Have some nice, strong coffee and don't fall asleep on me, eh?
Till midnight, Barney. Darling, you're early. You said midnight. Tom! Why are you back?
You disappoint me. I thought I'd find Barney here. Apparently I'm too early.
Well, of course not. He brought me back after dinner.
You return at midnight?
Oh, you've made a mistake. I meant surely that your plane was leaving at midnight, wasn't it?
It's you who are making the mistake. Opportunity only knocks once. And I'm taking advantage of it.
What do you mean? What are you doing? Don't be a fool, Tom. Don't look like that, you fool. They'll hang you for it.
You mean they'll hang Barney? Harry, have you got my key?
Oh, I heard you gone to Paris, sir.
Well, I nearly did. I was just about to get on the plane when I discovered I'd left my briefcase here, so now it'll have to be the first flight tomorrow morning.
Oh, your key's not here, sir.
Oh? Well, Mrs. Walker must have come home sooner than she expected.
Well, would you like me to check, sir? I didn't see her come in this way.
No, never mind. She won't be asleep yet. Oh, Joe, let me in again, will you? My wife doesn't seem to hear.
Certainly, sir. Hello, sir.
Come in a minute, Joe. I have a letter I'd like you to post for me.
Certainly, sir.
Claire. Claire.
I'll phone for a doctor.
Don't bother. Phone the police.
Yes.
But Tom, you don't think
We'll leave the thinking to the police.
But Tom, you've got to believe me. Claire was dead when I arrived.
Oh, save it.
Yes. A murder. Flat 9. Yes.
I realize this has been a great shock, and I'll try and keep the questions as brief as possible. Todd was here early with your wife this evening.
Yes, we were all three of us going to a party, but I had to leave on a rush trip to Paris, so I asked my wife to go along with Todd.
Tell me, was there any bad feeling between Todd and your wife?
Well, none. They were very good friends.
You approved the relationship?
I trusted my wife, and I had no reason not to trust Todd.
I understand. Now, about the gun. You identified it as your own.
Oh, yes, it was in my briefcase.
Did Todd know it was there?
Yes, earlier this evening I was emptying out some papers, and he saw the gun, and we commented on it.
Bring Todd in here. Mr. Walker tells me that you were here when he produced this gun earlier this evening.
Yes, that's right.
Did Mr. Todd handle the gun at all?
No, he definitely did not. I remember him saying he didn't like them.
But you know that's not true. Inspector, he handed me the gun and I examined it.
All right, well, we'll leave that for the moment. Now, you say that you came back unexpectedly. Why?
I told you, Inspector, I'd forgotten my briefcase.
And your key was not at the desk downstairs?
No, I had Joe let me in with his pass key.
Joe?
The waiter.
Oh, yes. I think perhaps it would be better if we let him tell us the rest of the story. Todd. I understand you were here when Mr. Walker discovered the body.
Yes, I was. I followed Mr. Walker into the room, and there was Mrs. Walker on the couch.
What did you do then?
Well, I didn't know she was dead, sir, and as Mr. Walker told me to phone for the police.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Yes.
Oh, look, Inspector, it's perfectly obvious what happened.
Is it?
Todd and my wife had too much to drink. They quarreled, and he lost his temper and his head and shot her.
Why, you... I'm sorry, Inspector, but he's lying.
If what I say is right, his fingerprints will be all over that gun.
We've checked.
And are they?
Yes, they are.
But I've already admitted, Inspector, that I handled it when he handed it to me.
All right, this case isn't finished yet. There's other evidence to be considered.
Other evidence?
The doctor says your wife died around 10:30.
Oh, no, sir, that can't be right, sir.
Why not?
Well, if Mrs. Walker was killed about 10:30, Mr. Walker would have seen her.
What do you mean?
Well, Mr. Walker came back to the apartment about that time, sir.
Are you crazy? You know perfectly well I wasn't in the building at that time.
But you were here, sir. Surely you remember. I was having a smoke across the way. I saw you go by.
Ridiculous.
Couldn't you be mistaken?
Oh, no, sir. No, I was as close to him as I am now, sir. Why, I even mentioned it to the maids.
You didn't mention this before.
This proves you were trying to frame me.
Stay where you are. You'll never get away with this. Don't try and break in here. I'm going to shoot.
There's got to be a much tidier ending to this case than that, Walker. You've got a lot to answer for.